Friday. It is January 5th. This is our accountability call, the 430 Psycho. The QR code will get you to the tracker. You can jump in and start this, do 30 days, get that 90 hours in the morning, reshuffle your lifestyle framework so that you can spend time with your family, do things in the community, hang out with your kids, all that kind of stuff. Take a look at 430psycho.com if you want to see all of the commitments. Yesterday, we're in real estate, so our Zillow rep wants to talk to us like every 2 weeks. And normally what he's been doing is talking to our agents that are on our lead rotation and, talking about how to update the system and all these different kinds of things. And yesterday, without telling us, he decided that he wanted to start coaching us. And which is funny because we do a daily huddle at 9 o'clock every day. And when he decided, and he didn't tell us this, he decided he was going to get into sort of giving us these aha moments about accountability. And, so he was like asking, people on the call, like, when their best month was, when their best year was. And, everybody's like, okay, well, we track all of our stuff. And he got to me and I was like, look, man, you want to talk accountability? Let's talk accountability. Like everybody on this call has planned something and there's no mystery of how to get there. And that's just a matter of if you're going to hold yourself accountable to it, right? Like it really comes down to that. Like there's no mystery to get to where we want to go. And, so what, one of our commitments is scarcity with this, because we're in that part of the year where everybody is showing how much more accountable they are than everybody else, especially in our business. Our business is all about creating the perception that you're better at this or better at that. So everybody's right now across the board is saying like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I do this. I don't want, I'm not going to be part of that because it's for me. I feel like anybody doing this, it's for us, right? Like that accountability. I don't need to show everybody on social media every other day or every day that I can do what we're doing. And I was just curious if anybody has thoughts about accountability. It was, our Zillow rep after the second agent, I said, look, man, this, I thank you for where you're going with this, but these guys hear this every day. Everybody laughed in the call because we talk about it every day. Like there's no mystery, right? Like it's not like we need to figure out any, get the silver bullet or the new thing. It's just holding ourselves accountable to what we already know.
Well, it sounds like, your team is a bit unique to what he's experiencing, so you guys are a step ahead.
Well, when I was the first guy he was talking to doesn't, really push that hard. And I also told him, I said, he asked me when my best month was and when my best year was. I said, I'll tell you this, like my goal for me, like our minimum, like if everything about success for you, which it was in his paradigm was volume, which I've, I didn't get into the fact I've written a book making fun of how that's the metric that we use. But I said, like, our minimum metric is 24 transactions. So if anybody hits that, they've hit the minimum standards. And that's kind of how they, we re-engineer what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. He was trying to basically, get our team to tell him what they were doing on a day-to-day basis to get to their best month or their best year. And I was like, we talk about this every day. Like but I told him, I said, look, like doing the most deals doesn't mean I had the most successful year. Like the last 3 years have been the most successful years of my life. And I've hit my goals. So like our target is 36 transactions, and if we can do anything above that, that's really great. 3 deals a month is a lot of work. And we know how hard that is, right? To do 36 deals a year. The longer you do this, the easier it is. But, this last year was tough. Anyways, like I said, look, I've done over 36 deals, like 10 times personally, not including the team. But that's not really, there's other parts of, my health, my financing, all of the different things that I have going in life. It's not like volume. It was pretty funny to, because that was in our world, everybody wants volume, right? The brokerage wants volume. Our Remax brand wants volume. Everybody wants volume. The only people that wants profitability is your family, the people that you support. They don't care about all the medals and you on stages talking about how great you are because you did 400 or 500 deals. They don't care. They just want you to be profitable. So we had I think I surprised him. He would have had no idea that I'm really into accountability.
It's funny in our business. In our business, realtors, we spend money we don't have to buy things we can't afford to impress people we don't know, and so this accolade of deals, volume, and all that. At the bottom line is the whole circle of life, the 5, 6, 7, 8 areas of your life that are the most important. And I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, Ron, it's like I didn't have the best year ever in business. It was a good year. It wasn't the best year, but I feel like I had the best year of my life. It's just my favorite year of my life because I track it. I track everything every day, not just business. I check, do I do my journaling? Do I do my exercise? Do I do my reading? I check everything. And, traveling, like last year, I took so many days off of vacation. And I'm looking at all the pictures that throughout the year that I went on vacation. I'm like, man, that was an awesome year. So regardless of the volume, regardless of the transaction, so it's the whole scope of things, not just one area.
Yeah, I said, look, the month I did 14 transactions, that wasn't the best month of my year. That was not a good month. Like, yeah, financially, I did great, but when you're doing 14 transactions and 14 that I'm working on, that financially, yeah, but mentally, no.
What kind of life is it, right?
Yeah, it's not sustainable, So, I think he had a little paradigm shift of understanding that, if you're hitting your benchmark goals that you've set, and I told him, I said, look, everybody that you're on this call knows exactly what they have to do. It's ingrained in them. It's just a matter of whether they want to actually do it. And if it fits into what they're doing. I have agents on my team that weren't on that call that do a ton of business and don't do Zillow. I got agents on the call that just don't want to push that hard. So, and they're very happy with everything. And you could argue their life is, they might be having better months than dealing. They have a low expense structure, so they don't have to make tons of money to be happy. So. What were you going to say, Ron?
I was just going to say that was the kind of the point, right? Like, so what was your best month? It was just like define best, right? Like success is something that you pursue. It's not something that you obtain, and success is defined by the person, right? Like if you're doing what you want to do and you love what you do and you feel great about it, then you're a success. It has nothing to do with what you drive or what you have. It's being able to accomplish your goals, whatever those are. So accountability is always meeting somebody where they're at and asking them what success to you did you get there? What were your commitments? What were your capabilities to get there? Right? Are you doing those? And if you're not doing them, why not? Is there something I can help with? Or is it just a bad day, a bad week? That's all. It's just that subtle reminder.
If you have a plan to where you want to go and you got it drilled down to what you have to do on a daily or weekly, monthly basis, when somebody asks you, like, how did you have your best month or how did you have your best year? And then I would, like I said with him, I said, well, let's just say the highest volume in real estate sales, which doesn't necessarily mean that was our best month. We might have been having a hard time at home with our significant other that made it one of the worst months of the year because I'm not around because I'm doing 14 transactions. But if I've done all these things to hit our goal of 3 deals a month, I can explain that, and that's the thing. So most people in our business, if you talk to them, they can't explain how they got to what, because it just kind of, through their sphere of influence or through a little bit of this or a little bit of that. But anybody that's actually planned it out can rattle it off. And then the ones that are been in the business and have been coached for a long time, you can say it's all about accountability. It's all about, like, I know exactly what I have to do. There's no mystery. I know if I do all these things in my day, these many calls are going to lead to these many appointments. These many appointments are going to lead to these many transactions. But if I don't do it, it's not going to work. And if I don't do it, it just means, for whatever reason, I can't hold myself accountable to what needs to be done. It's not like I need to figure out what needs to be done. I know what needs to be done. So I would say, getting up and starting your day at 4:30 and doing the 3 hours of work and all that kind of stuff, that's pretty extreme accountability, which we've been talking about a little bit, but it's for you. I don't need to show this off. I want people to, I'm going to be talking in Spanish in 3 months. That's one of the benefits. I'm going to be a lot more, relaxed from meditating. I feel like I'm pretty even killed when I deal with situations, but I'm going to be even more relaxed. So that's what I want them to see the effect.
I think that, exactly what you're mentioning, but when people, there's different levels, when people are focusing on personal growth, accountability, consistency, oftentimes folks that have been experiencing that personal growth, no matter where they are in the process, they're more along the line. They have a greater understanding of scarcity, where folks that don't, it's about posting just about production. The success is the production. So, I think you've nailed it. And I think, Ron and Rob have too. But I think people on the outside also look at most people in the real estate and lending and financial services, that it's all about just, what the production focus is, where we know that the process is going to make a difference on the personal side and on the professional side. So
yeah, most coaching doesn't work because the person being coached doesn't change things around and create time. Like when I was a coach, I'd coach people that be in their 4th or 5th month that hadn't implemented anything, and spending really good money because they just, the most important thing of all, of structuring, like making the actually dramatic changes, but habits are, the subconscious habits are so strong. It's so hard, like to adjust and do what we're doing right now. That's why, I think it's important for us to post in Facebook every day, Ron.
I didn't post last night. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I'm kidding. But it actually will force you, at the end of 30 days, we all should have built this something, right? And I think somebody's saying, hey, it'd be great to see that every day in Facebook. Just make sure that these 3 hours you're actually chipping away at something that at the end of the 30 days, you can be like, wow, man, I did this, or I did that, or did these things. Yeah, I'm just playing. Ron's like, what?
No. I'm good with that.
I haven't signed up for that. But yeah, I don't know. I think a light sprinkle of sharing to the world some of the things you're doing for yourself. Everybody likes recognition. It feels like it's a little overboard. I feel like in our business, somebody posts all their stats, and then somebody says, oh, I got to post all my stats. And then someone says, oh, I got to post all my stats. And I tell you, it was a lot less this year than I've ever seen it, because I think some people got out there early making fun of it. There were some people in our marketplace that did a post making fun of, all the things that they accomplished this year. And I think it really put pause on people, or gave people pause to, there's no other industry that does that,
Well, I have a client or a colleague of mine, a friend that it's been in financial services. We've coached together our kids for years. And I know, and he's a really successful financial advisor. I see him post in past years. He's posted his production, and where he's ranked. And I'm just like, my goodness, man. I'm like, it'd be different if it's a post from his company, just acknowledging the work that he's done. But I just feel, I look at him, maybe I'm a little bit shallow, but I look at him like, gosh, why do you feel like you have to
He probably
to
saw
post
somebody else do it and felt like he had to do it to get out there, and then all of a sudden there's this like trickle down effect. And then, but I've never seen it from a financial planner. But I think it's great when you get recognition, if it's like real recognition, not like a made up award that
Agreed.
anybody can nominate you for, which we see a lot of in our business, like these fake awards and fake.
I agree.
I have so much. I have so many awards that are like expensive, probably like $30 pieces of glass awards from like Home Snap and like things that I don't even, to this day, I don't even know what they're for. Like, you're a Home Snap, blah, 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 something nice piece of, glass statue. We all have them, right? Like, all mine are boxed up now. I ran out of space, and they don't really do anything for me anymore. So
I'd rather take that money they spend on that glass and maybe donate it somewhere instead of just looking at a piece of glass that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, like there's whole award like events of like where everybody, like where the same people every year will nominate each other, and and they're like, there's multiple platforms where that goes on in our industry. We love awards in real estate. We love being on stages, letting people see how great we are. It's pretty funny.
Well, sales is a competitive industry.
Tomorrow,
what's that?
Yeah. You mentioned, Ron, tomorrow you're going to be traveling. Same thing. I'm going to be on the road at right around 4:40 because I'm traveling. So how do you on a normal day, like you mentioned, like the platform here, you're able to log on and everything's just as normal. Like I would imagine I haven't downloaded this to my phone.
Yeah,
if I
it's not an app. I just get to it through the browser. So I'm gonna go live at same time tomorrow. I'm gonna be somewhere in London, and then I'll be in a room at 4:30 all next week. I'll be in London, but I'll be going live. I mean, it will be 9:30 over there, but I mean, I'll still be on a.
You'll be late, Ron. You'll be getting up late.
It's gonna be funky tomorrow. It's a 5-hour difference. So like, getting up at 4 today, and then I gotta we get on the plane at 10 tonight, and then I guess we land at like 8 a.m. So I lose like these 5 hours, of a, So I don't know. I might take a little nap today in the middle of the day.
You land at 8 a.m. their time?
Yeah,
which is 3 hour time.
Okay. Yeah. So, I'm going out of town a little bit later this month, and I'm just dealing with a 1 hour time change. And I was like, what am I going to do? Because last time we went to Vegas, that really threw my schedule. I was like, there's no way I'm getting up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you just stay up?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to miss tomorrow. Like, I want to get 365 days of not missing a morning. And I think I have to look. I think I'm at like 356, right? I think today is 356. I got to take a look. But anyways, we've hit our time. So I'll be in London tomorrow. See you guys. See you in the morning.
Safe travels.
Cheerio.
Okay, man.
Cheerio.
Have a great day.
Cheerio.